Today I have combined GPT-3, Stable Diffusion 1.5 and Azure Neural Voice to create a short, illustrated and narrated story. This means every step has been assisted by an AI tool. So I hope you can get some inspiration for this. Anyway, let's have a look. Okay, so the first thing I did, of course, was to write the story. So I went to OpenAI's GPT-3. I'm using the DaVinci engine with the Instruct GPT. So what I did here was I just started to write some information about Paradox. So Paradox is our character here. So his name is unknown, but he goes by Paradox. His age is 29, male, self-taught expert hacker, and some other information. Here I have a list of character traits. He's intelligent, logical, introverted, quiet, and some other. Then I asked the engine to write a background story about Paradox. I gave it a detailed outline, so we got some outline steps here. And finally, I just asked, now write a longer story from the plot. So here is like the final story. So I think it turned out fine. It's about 2.5 minutes, so that's good. After this, I went over to Azure Neural Voice. So over at Azure Neural Voice, of course, if you haven't seen this before, you can find a video about it on my channel. But basically what I did is I went here, just pasted the story into the speech studio, and I fine-tuned my voice a bit. I chose actually the narrator voice professional. I think it sounds okay. I did some adjustments over here from the pitch and rate. So you can check out my other videos about this if you want some in-depth knowledge. So now the last thing we had to do was get some images for the illustrations. Okay, so when we had the story, it was quite easy to make illustration. Basically what I did was just try to match the prompts with the scenes from the story. So I used this prompt to try to get the illustrations as similar as possible. I'm gonna leave this prompt in the description if you want to have a look at it. So here we can see I created this hacker in that is supposed to be our main character in Stable Diffusion 1.5, and I use of course the same prompt, changed it to the Dark Citadel organization, and we got like these images. I also created some in Midjourney. I kind of like the ones from Midjourney best, so I chose mostly from Midjourney, but I also picked some from Dream Studio AI that of course run the Stable Diffusion 1.5. So yeah, I think it's time to just look at the final result.
The year is 2029 and the world is on the brink of economic collapse. Unemployment is at an all-time high and food and water are running out. The world's governments are desperately trying to find a way to save the world from financial ruin. They've been printing money and borrowing from other countries, but it's not enough. They need more money, and they need it fast. The Citadel, a powerful organization that controls the world's financial systems, is sitting on a stockpile of wealth that could save the world from ruin. But the Citadel is a ruthless organization, and they won't share their wealth with anyone. The only way to get their hands on the Citadel's wealth is to steal it. Meet Paradox, a world-renowned hacker. He's a master of cyber warfare, and he's been hired by the world's governments to steal the Citadel's wealth. He's been following the Citadel's activities for years, and he's convinced that they're hoarding the world's wealth for themselves. He's determined to take them down. Paradox spends months planning his attack on the Citadel. He studies their systems and finds their weaknesses. He creates a sophisticated malware that he calls the Overlord that would allow him to take control of the Citadel's computers. He injects the malware into the Citadel's systems and waits for it to do its work. Once the malware has given him control of the Citadel's computers, he's able to access all of their assets. He transfers all of the Citadel's money into a hidden shadow account, then deletes all of the evidence that he was ever there. To cover his tracks, he distributes the wealth to various charities and anonymous donors. He then disappears into the shadows, leaving the world to wonder who stole the Citadel's wealth. The authorities are never able to trace the hack back to him, and the Citadel is left with empty coffers. The Citadel is now out for blood, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to find Paradox. They'll stop at nothing to bring him to justice. But Paradox is always one step ahead of them. He's a master of cyber warfare, and he knows how to keep himself hidden, and he will stay in the shadows for the rest of his life.
So I hope this gave you some inspiration. If not, check out one of my other videos here. I'll let the YouTube algorithm choose which one. So anyway, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.